Halo. Nah, di sesi kali ini kita akan latihan bersama untuk soal listening TOEFL ITP yang total nomornya itu 50 nomor, tentunya sesuai dengan tes aslinya. Jadi kita akan dengarkan 50 nomor yang nantinya terbagi 3 ya, section A, section 1, section 2, dan section 3. Nah, setelah itu saya akan berikan ya kunci jawaban. Teman-teman bisa nanti cek jawabannya berapa benarnya. Kemudian saya juga persiapkan konversi ya, cara konversinya bagaimana nanti saya jelaskan setelah teman-teman mendengarkan. Setelah itu dilanjutkan dengan pembahasan soalnya ya, transkripnya dan kunci jawabannya tentunya seperti itu. Jangan lupa untuk subscribe ya dengan channel kami. Tentunya dukungan teman-teman ini membantu kelanjutan channel kami seperti itu. Nah, di audio kita nanti itu tetap kami cantumkan ya instruksinya. Jadi tentunya sebelum part A nomor 1 ada instruksi ya seperti itu. Teman-teman kalau mau di skip silahkan di skip saja langsung ke nomor 1. Kemudian nanti di part B juga demikian ada instruksinya sebelum masuk ke soal untuk part B, dan begitupun demikian dengan part C ya seperti itu. Oke, selamat berjuang, semoga mendapatkan skor sesuai dengan yang diharapkan.
Section 1. Listening Comprehension. In this section of the test, you will have an opportunity to demonstrate your ability to understand conversations and talks in English. There are 3 parts to this section, with special directions for each part. Answer all the questions on the basis of what is stated or implied by the speakers in this test. Do not take notes or write in your test book at any time. Do not turn the pages until you are told to do so. Part A. Directions. In Part A, you will hear short conversations between 2 people. After each conversation, you will hear a question about the conversation. The conversations and questions will not be repeated. After you hear a question, read the 4 possible answers in your test book and choose the best answer. Then, on your answer sheet, find the number of the question and fill in the space that corresponds to the letter of the answer you have chosen. Here is an example. On the recording, you hear,
"I don't like this painting very much."
Neither do I.
"What does the man mean?" In your test book, you read A. He does not like the painting either. B. He does not know how to paint. C. He does not have any paintings. D. He does not know what to do. You learn from the conversation that neither the man nor the woman likes the painting. The best answer to the question, "What does the man mean?" is A. He does not like the painting either. Therefore, the correct choice is A. Go on to the next page. Now we will begin Part A with the first conversation.
Number 1.
No, I asked you to get me the economics test book, not the textbook.
Oh, no wonder the cashier looked at me that way.
What can be inferred about the man? Number 2.
You did an excellent job on that presentation.
Thanks. I put a lot of time into it.
What does the woman mean? Number 3.
I can't find my wallet, and it has more than $100 in it.
Calm down a minute. Have you checked the coat you had on this morning?
What does the woman suggest the man do? Number 4.
I waited for you at the library for more than 30 minutes yesterday. Weren't we supposed to meet at noon?
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. I've been so wrapped up in my science project, it just slipped my mind.
What does the man mean? Number 5.
This is the most boring dormitory party I've ever been to.
It certainly could use some livening up.
What does the man imply? Number 6.
I've got 3 exams tomorrow. I can't possibly study for all of them.
I'm just glad I'm not in your shoes.
What does the woman mean? Number 7.
My roommate Karen makes the best salads. I don't understand why mine never taste as good as hers.
It's not such a mystery. She's a vegetarian and has simply perfected the art.
What does the man mean? Number 8.
Do you think you could help me get a new couch into my apartment this weekend?
Didn't you make arrangements to have it delivered? That'd be easier, and it's free.
What does the man suggest the woman do? Number 9.
The opening of the new photo exhibit was great. I thought you said you were coming too, to meet the artist.
Oh, no. That was last weekend?
What can be inferred about the man? Number 10.
Are you going to buy that? I'm not sure I like it on you.
Well, it is comfortable. Perfect for our trip. Maybe I'd better find a mirror so I can see how it looks.
What is the man doing? Number 11.
I can't figure out why I can't get my computer to print.
Did you check the cables? Sometimes they just get loose.
What does the woman suggest the man do? Number 12.
I'm going out to the golf course this afternoon. Would you like to come along? I could use a few pointers on my game.
I'd be glad to, but I'm not sure what I could show you.
What does the man mean? Number 13.
I think I'll take 3 of these tablets. My head is killing me.
You'd better read the label carefully first.
What does the woman imply the man should do? Number 14.
I thought you weren't planning to come home for supper.
Oh, but I was.
What does the woman mean? Number 15.
I'm really looking forward to taking up piano this semester.
I hope you do better than I did when I took lessons. I just don't have an ear for music.
What does the woman mean? Number 16.
Did you pick up some French bread at the bakery?
A sign on the window said closed. Please call again.
What does the man mean? Number 17.
I'm nervous about the job interview I have this afternoon.
Relax. Just let them know about your background. It's perfect for the job.
What does the woman suggest the man do? Number 18.
I really don't see the value of these modern paintings. They look like the kind of pictures my 4-year-old nephew paints.
And I'll bet he uses brighter colors, too.
What can be inferred about the speakers? Number 19.
Are you flying or taking the train home for the summer?
Neither. Since I've got this job at the university library, my parents are just going to come visit sometime in July.
What does the woman mean? Number 20.
Do you have any idea when tonight's rehearsal will be over?
Beats me. You could try asking Jeff.
What does the man mean?
Go on to the next page.
Number 21.
The music we were playing last night didn't disturb you, did it?
I was trying to get some work done.
What does the man imply about the music? Number 22.
The election's tomorrow. Do you want to help me put up some more campaign posters?
I don't see why we should bother. The people who are going to vote have already made up their minds.
What does the man imply? Number 23.
Jessie's doing well in chemistry now, isn't she?
Yes, she's really come a long way.
What does the man say about Jessie? Number 24.
I give up. I'll never learn how to ski as well as you.
Don't be discouraged. Remember, I practically grew up on skis.
What does the woman imply? Number 25.
Your neighbors used to grow the most wonderful peaches.
You have a good memory. The tree went down in a storm a few years ago, and I'd completely forgotten about it.
What does the man imply? Number 26.
Jack's plan to move across the country and start his own business is really brave, but I hope he knows what he's doing.
Oh, I know. I can't help but wonder how he's ever going to manage it.
What does the man mean? Number 27.
I hear that Professor Jones is going to be on the news tonight. Could I come over and watch it?
Well, a bunch of us from class are going to go over to Dave's to watch it. Want to join us?
What will the speakers probably do this evening? Number 28.
I've been combing the classifieds for an apartment.
I think there are some good rentals on the bulletin board outside the student center.
What does the man suggest the woman do? Number 29.
Look at it pour. So much for our tennis game.
Yeah, and since it's supposed to keep up all night, we ought to forget about tomorrow's lunch game, too.
What does the man imply? Number 30.
The phone will be installed tomorrow.
Oh, so you did order it.
What had the woman assumed?
This is the end of Part A. Go on to the next page. Now read along as the directions for Part B are being read. Part B. Directions. In this part of the test, you will hear longer conversations. After each conversation, you will hear several questions. The conversations and questions will not be repeated. After you hear a question, read the 4 possible answers in your test book and choose the best answer. Then, on your answer sheet, find the number of the question and fill in the space that corresponds to the letter of the answer you have chosen. Remember, you are not allowed to take notes or write in your test book. Go on to the next page. Now we will begin Part B with the first conversation.
Questions 31 through 34. Listen to part of an interview between a student newspaper reporter and a professor.
Professor Smith, let me make sure my information is accurate. The title of your book is Moving People, the New York Subway and Urban Development. It's 312 pages long, and it will be published next month.
That's right. You should be sure to make clear that I'm not the sole author. My co-author is Kathleen Douglas.
Oh, yes, I have that. So why write about the subways?
I'm a cultural historian, and I'm interested in the impact of technology on people's lives. The subways increased everyone's mobility. How cheap, efficient transportation changed life in New York. That's really the focus.
Have the subways been around a long time?
Some unsuccessful attempts were made as far back as the 1870s. But the history of the subways really begins with the founding of the IRT, the Interborough Rapid Transit Company, in 1900. Today we call it the IRT.
So the IRT built the first subway in 1900?
They started work in 1900, but it took 4 years to dig the tunnel and lay the track for the first line.
And it was a success?
Oh, yes. People knew it would transform their lives. 100,000 rode the train the first day. I've got some great pictures of that day.
Are they in the book?
Yes, those and quite a few others. Actually, Kathleen collected the photographs. I was going over this set when you arrived.
Number 31. What is the main topic of the interview? Number 32. Who is Kathleen Douglas? Number 33. What aspect of the New York subway especially interests the professor? Number 34. What will the professor probably do next? Questions 35 through 38. Listen to a conversation between two students who are members of the computer club.
Sorry to say this, Pam, but I think we're going to have to cancel tonight's planning meeting.
You're kidding, Tom. With the computer fair only 2 weeks away? Is the weather that bad?
Well, I just listened to the noon forecast on the radio, and the snow's supposed to start between 2 and 3 and continue throughout the afternoon and evening. Some other campus clubs have already announced they're not meeting.
Gee, I'd hate to cancel, though. There's so much to do to get ready.
I know what you mean, but if the weather's bad, we probably wouldn't get much of a turnout anyway. Remember how many computer club members live far from campus?
Maybe you're right. And Kathy told me yesterday that the publicity's all taken care of.
And I've made the arrangements for the rooms we'll be using, so that's all set too.
Sounds as if we're further ahead than I thought. Maybe we could just postpone the meeting till tomorrow night.
I think we'd better wait a couple of days until the road's clear. How about the day after tomorrow? I could get on the phone and let everyone know.
I'll split the list with you. That way we'll each have only 10 calls to make.
Great. And when I talk to Sarah, I'll find out how the response from the computer vendors has been.
Last I heard, there were about 20 software companies coming.
I guess everything's coming along all right then. Let's just hope we have good weather the day of the fair.
Number 35. What are the speakers working on? Number 36. Why do the speakers decide to cancel the meeting? Number 37. Where is the planning meeting scheduled to take place? Number 38. How are the speakers going to let club members know about the change in plans?
This is the end of Part B. Go on to the next page. Now read along as the directions for Part C are being read. Part C. Directions. In this part of the test you will hear several short talks. After each talk, you will hear some questions. The talks and the questions will not be repeated. After you hear a question, read the 4 possible answers in your test book and choose the best answer. Then, on your answer sheet, find the number of the question and fill in the space that corresponds to the letter of the answer you have chosen. Here is an example. On the recording, you hear, "Listen to an instructor talk to his class about a television program."
I'd like to tell you about an interesting TV program that'll be shown this coming Thursday. It'll be on from 9 to 10 p.m. on Channel 4. It's part of a series called Mysteries of Human Biology. The subject of the program is the human brain, how it functions and how it can malfunction. Topics that will be covered are dreams, memory, and depression. These topics are illustrated with outstanding computer animation that makes the explanations easy to follow. Make an effort to see this show. Since we've been studying the nervous system in class, I know you'll find it very helpful.
Now, listen to a sample question. What is the main purpose of the program? In your test book, you read, A. To demonstrate the latest use of computer graphics. B. To discuss the possibility of an economic depression. C. To explain the workings of the brain. D. To dramatize a famous mystery story. The best answer to the question, "What is the main purpose of the program?" is C. To explain the workings of the brain. Therefore, the correct choice is C. Now listen to another sample question. Why does the speaker recommend watching the program? In your test book, you read A. It is required of all science majors. B. It will never be shown again. C. It can help viewers improve their memory skills. D. It will help with coursework. The best answer to the question, "Why does the speaker recommend watching the program?" is D. It will help with coursework. Therefore, the correct choice is D. Remember, you are not allowed to take notes or write in your test book. Go on to the next page. Now we will begin Part C with the first talk.
Questions 39 through 42. Listen to a talk by an anthropologist.
To continue our series of recordings from the museum's archives, this afternoon you will have the opportunity to hear a preeminent Native American storyteller, Joseph Medicine Crow. This museum is fortunate to have some of the recordings of legends and other stories he has collected from his native Crow culture, which is one of the Plains Indian groups. To understand the significance of these recordings, it is important to remember that the history and traditions of Native Americans were not written down. Instead, they were passed down from one generation to the next by tribal storytellers. Often, these storytellers were specially trained. They were chosen for the role when young and charged with remembering and sharing their people's oral history, a tradition that no longer exists. Joseph Medicine Crow recorded and saved the stories of his grandfather, one of the Crow people's last war chiefs. He also collected the memoirs of other tribal elders. Today, the traditional tribal storytellers Joseph Crow knew as a young man are all gone, so he must now gather information from their children and grandchildren. Now we'll hear a tape of this great storyteller as he recounts a legend of the Crow people. The slides you will see accompanying this story are pictures of artifacts of various Plains Indian cultures.
Number 39. What is the speaker's main purpose? Number 40. Why were storytellers important to Plains Indian cultures? Number 41. According to the talk, why are Joseph Medicine Crow's recordings especially important now? Number 42. Why does Joseph Medicine Crow collect material from storytellers' children? Questions 43 through 46. Listen to a professor in a business class.
I hope you've all finished reading the assigned chapter on insurance, so that you're prepared for our discussion today. But before we start, I'd like to mention a few things your text doesn't go into. It's interesting to note that insurance has existed in some form for a very long time. The earliest insurance policies were what were called bottomry contracts. They provided shipping protection for merchants as far back as 3000 BCE. In general, the contracts were often no more than verbal agreements. They granted loans to merchants with the understanding that if a particular shipment of goods was lost at sea, the loan didn't have to be repaid. interest on the loans varied according to how risky it was to transport the goods. During periods of heavy piracy at sea, for example, the amount of interest and the cost of the policy went up considerably. So you can see how insurance helped encourage international trade. Even the most cautious merchants became willing to risk shipping their goods over long distances, not to mention in hazardous weather conditions, when they had this kind of protection available. Generally speaking, the basic form of an insurance policy has been pretty much the same since the Middle Ages. There are 4 points that were salient then and remain paramount in all policies today. These were outlined in Chapter 6 and will serve as the basis for the rest of today's discussion. Can anyone tell me what one of those points might be?
Number 43. What is the purpose of the professor's talk? Number 44. Who were the first insurance contracts designed to protect? Number 45. What does the professor say determined the cost of early insurance policies? Number 46. What does the professor say about current insurance policies? Questions 47 through 50. Listen to part of a talk about honeybees.
Communication. What is communication? Some of you will say it is language. But is communication just limited to human language? You might be surprised to learn that scientists have discovered that honeybees have a form of communication that is as complicated and as effective as human language. Honeybees communicate by dancing. For example, when a honeybee finds food, it returns to its hive and performs a dance. This dance communicates a message about the food. Basically, there are 3 types of dances: the round dance, the sickle dance, and the tail-wagging dance. In all 3 dances, the number of turns in the bee's dance tells the other bees how far the food is from the hive. The angle of the bee's dance in relation to the sun tells the direction of food from the hive. So, you see, honeybees communicate using one form of nonverbal communication. Can anyone suggest another form of nonverbal communication used by animals?
Number 47. What aspect of honeybees does the speaker discuss? Number 48. According to the speaker, what does the honeybee communicate through its dances? Number 49. What does the speaker say about the honeybee's system of communication? Number 50. What does the speaker ask the listeners to do at the end of the talk? This is the end of Section 1, Listening Comprehension. Stop work on Section 1. Turn off your audio player.
Oke, silahkan dicek kunci jawabannya. Berikut kunci jawabannya. Silahkan teman-teman cek dan silahkan bisa dikonversi. Di sebelah kanan itu merupakan cara konversi nilainya. Jadi misalkan teman-teman benarnya di angka 30, jawaban yang benar di sebelah kiri itu, berarti konversi TOEFL-nya adalah 510. Kalau misalkan benarnya 40, berarti konversi TOEFL-nya adalah 570. Oke, sekarang kita masuk ke ini ya, transkrip dan kunci jawabannya. Ini kalau saya mungkin bahas secara detail mungkin agak lambat teman-teman ya. Jadi mungkin saya ini aja ya, saya perlihatkan aja transkripnya. Teman-teman nanti bisa pause sendiri ya. Sambil saya perlihatkan, mungkin saya akan terjemahkan beberapa frasa yang mungkin saya anggap termasuk kurang biasa ya bagi teman-teman mungkin ya, bagi pelajar biasanya. Jadi saya terjemahkan beberapa frasa. Kalau misalkan nanti ada yang mungkin saya lewati ya, yang mungkin teman-teman nggak tahu artinya, bisa di komentar aja ya, pasang kira-kira Kak ini frasanya artinya apa gitu ya. Tapi saya akan berusaha ya untuk memenuhi beberapa kosakata yang mungkin kurang biasa gitu. Misalkan no wonder artinya pantas saja gitu ya. Put a lot of time itu merupakan idiom, artinya banyak menghabiskan waktu ya, artinya kerja keras. Kemudian ini teman-teman bisa ini ya, nanti di pause aja untuk lihat transkripnya, kemudian dicek di jawabannya masing-masing. Calm down a minute itu artinya tenang dulu ya, tenang dulu katanya gitu. Oke, kita lanjut ke nomor 4. Nah, di sini ada frasa so wrap up. Nah, teman-teman, wrap up itu kalau misalnya gini, kita lagi kerja tugas, kemudian waktu kita kerja tugas kita betul-betul fokus dengan kerja tugas kita, sampai-sampai kita nggak fokus lagi dengan jadwal lain, nggak pokoknya fokus sekali. Itu artinya wrap up gitu ya. Kayak wrap up itu kan kalau kita lihat ini ya, analogikan kan kita wrap kan artinya ini ya, membungkus gitu. Nah, jadi kalau kita lihat makanan kan di wrap gitu ya, makanan dibungkus kan, dibungkus plastik gitu. Nah, itu berarti artinya seakan-akan kepala kita, diri kita ini, pemikiran kita dibungkus ya, dibungkus dengan tugas kita, kita betul-betul fokus dengan tugas kita gitu. Nah, ada lagi frasa slip my mind gitu, itu artinya lupa teman-teman ya, itu sinonimnya forgot ya, forget gitu ya. It slip my mind gitu, sorry, saya lupa artinya itu ya, seperti itu. Lanjut ke nomor 5. Nah, livening up ini merupakan frasa idiom juga ya, kurang umum juga dipakai. Kalau teman-teman suka nonton bola atau mungkin nonton pertandingan apapun, misalkan dalam bola, itu kan kadang misalkan nggak ada skor ya, atau mungkin tidak ada juga serangan yang betul-betul membuat kita tertarik ya dalam menonton bola. Nah, biasa kita dengarkan komentatornya bilang livening up, itu artinya butuh sesuatu supaya pertandingan bolanya itu membuat orang semangat gitu menontonnya. Sampai dalam konteks ini, pestanya itu membosankan ya, makanya katanya butuh sesuatu supaya gimana caranya pestanya itu bisa ini ya, lebih exciting gitu, lebih menarik ya, seperti itu. Kita lanjut ke nomor 6. Nah, ini juga idiom ya, I'm not in your shoes. Saya nggak di sepatumu, bukan berarti masuk dalam sepatu teman-teman ya. Maksudnya saya nggak di keadaanmu gitu ya, saya nggak berada di posisimu gitu. Oke, kita lanjut ke nomor 7. Nah, ini ada beberapa idiom ya. Ini ada idiom ya, simply perfected the art. Itu artinya kalau kita mengatakan sesuatu perfected the art, artinya dia telah menjadi ahli di situ ya. Jadi dia katanya sudah ahli di situ ya. Dalam konteks ini dia ahlinya membuat itu ya, membuat salad ya, ini ya. Oke, kita lanjut ke nomor 8. Ingat teman-teman bisa ini aja ya, bisa pause aja ya kalau misalkan mau baca dulu transkripnya. Coach ini merupakan so part ya teman-teman ya. Kemudian have it deliver ini merupakan kosatif ya, ada materinya memang kosatif. Teman-teman nanti bisa cek aja apa sih kosatif itu. Kan selama ini kan teman-teman mungkin dapatkan have itu artinya memiliki kan ya. Atau mungkin telah kan, I have a book, saya memiliki sebuah buku. I have eaten, saya telah makan. Dalam konteks ini have ini artinya meminta. Nah, gitu dia materi kosatif. Kenapa bisa seperti itu nanti teman-teman cek ya. Cari aja di YouTube, ada kok materi saya. Yang di dalam video itu saya jelaskan kosatif bersamaan dengan gerund dengan to infinitive. Ya, Google aja ya kosatif Edin Mulp ya gitu. Atau kosatif Muhammad Akam Arifin ya. Oke, jadi kitanya itu ya. Have it deliver, have the store deliver the coach. Meminta tokonya mengirimkan sofanya gitu ya. Kita lanjut ke nomor 9. Ini kayak semacam surprise ya. Kan si perempuan mengatakan, pameran fotonya kemarin loh, kenapa kamu nggak datang? Si laki-laki bilang, oh no, that was last weekend. Aduh, itu minggu lalu. Berarti dia kayak semacam bingung ya. Bingung dengan jadwalnya gitu ya. Jadi teman-teman bisa mengatakan kalau lupa dengan jadwal, you can say, well, I'm quite confused about the schedule gitu. Saya agak bingung dengan jadwalnya. Artinya saya lupa gitu ya. Itu maksudnya. Ini kalau kita dengarkan tadi audionya, dia si perempuan mengatakan, are you going to buy that? Itu seakan-akan dia ada semacam tidak persetujuannya ya. Dia nggak setuju kalau laki-laki mau beli itu, katanya nggak cocok katanya bagi dia ya gitu. Oke, kita lanjut. Ini mungkin figure out artinya tahu teman-teman ya. Oke, itu mungkin yang lain jelas ya. Ingat, kalau ada pertanyaan, komentar aja ya gitu. Kalau ada yang nggak dipaham gitu. Nah, pointers ini frase yang kurang umum juga. Come along juga mungkin ya, biasa kita dengarkan. Come along artinya ikut ya. Would you like to come along? Mau gabung nggak? Mau ikut nggak gitu ya. Pointers teman-teman ini kalau kita terjemahkan bahasa Indonesia artinya petunjuk gitu ya, atau nasihat gitu. Jadi misalkan kita lagi latihan bola, kita mungkin butuh nasihat, butuh petunjuk dari orang yang lebih ahli gitu maksudnya. Oke, saya lanjut ke nomor 13. Oke, ini nota nomor 12 ya. Bentar saya enter dulu ya, supaya teman-teman bisa itu. Oke, itu ya 12. Di pause aja ya untuk baca. Oke, lanjut. My head is killing me. Ini sakit sekali kepalanya ya gitu maksudnya. Dia sampai-sampai mau minum itu 3 tablet katanya ya, seperti itu. Katanya baca dulu labelnya ya, maksudnya dosisnya ya, baca dulu katanya. Oke, kita lanjut ke nomor 14. Ini tadi transkripnya nggak ada ini ya tadi ya. Ini bentar saya hapus dulu. Ini transkripnya gini ya. Supper teman-teman itu artinya makan malam yang agak larut ya. Jadi di atasnya dinner lah istilahnya. Si laki-laki tadi bilang, saya pikir kamu tidak mau pulang rumah gitu untuk makan malam katanya. Oh tapi iya saya mau gitu, but I was, maksudnya di sini but I was planning ya, itu maksudnya. Berarti jawabannya delta. Nah, kita dapatkan ada kata looking forward to. Teman-teman mungkin di sini akan sering dapat ya frasa looking forward to di email. Looking forward to itu artinya ini ya. Kalau kita sedang menunggu sesuatu dengan tidak sabar, dalam artian kita menunggu sesuatu dengan senang ya gitu ya. Jadi kita bisa katakan looking forward to ya gitu. Jadi menunggu dengan senang gitu ya. Nah, di sini ada katanya I don't have an ear for music. Ini idiom teman-teman ya. Kalau kita mengatakan I don't have an ear for music, itu artinya kita tidak memiliki kemampuan musik ya gitu. Itu idiom teman-teman ya. Bisa juga kita jadi dua, biasanya kita katakan ya musik dengan language gitu. I don't have an ear for language. Saya nggak ahli di bahasa, itu maksudnya gitu. Oke, kita lanjut ke 16. Nah, ini please call again. Ini bukan berarti artinya telepon lagi teman-teman ya, bukan ya. Tapi itu artinya saya perlihatkan ya gambarnya, saya perlihatkan supaya teman-teman bisa ingat. Jadi ini biasa kita dapatkan di ini ya, di depan toko gitu. Saya perlihatkan. Please call again gitu. Nah, ini dia. Oke. Seperti ini teman-teman ya, gini. Nah, ini. Atau mungkin ini tepatnya, gitu ya. Nah, itu ya. Jadi kalau misalnya kita lagi mengunjungi toko, kemudian tertulis begini, artinya itu tokonya lagi tutup, silahkan datang lagi nanti ya, gitu. Bukan berarti teleponnya gitu ya. Gitu. Berarti toko rotinya nggak buka. Oke, ini aman, nggak ada yang kayak di sini yang tertentu ini ya, susah di situ. Kemudian, oke, ini albeit. Albeit ini kalau kita terjemahkan ke bahasa Indonesia, kita biasa di timur itu kita katakan pasti ini tuh gitu ya, kayak semacam saya yakin gini tuh gitu ya. Misalkan gini, di sini konteksnya kan gini, saya nggak paham gitu sih, artinya nggak paham ya, saya nggak paham nilainya lukisan-lukisan modern ini. Kalau teman-teman biasa kan lihat lukisan modern yang mungkin mahal sekali ya, puluhan juta, ratusan juta, bahkan mungkin miliaran, yang kayak abstrak kan, yang bagi kita, sebagian bagi saya termasuk ya, ini aduh ini maksudnya apa ini, guna painting ini apa maksudnya gitu, nggak paham kan biasa kita ya. Nah, kemudian dia bilang mereka, maksudnya kembalinya ke painting itu ya, mereka itu nampak kayak ini, kayak seperti gambar-gambar yang keponakan saya yang umur 4 tahun gambar gitu ya, lukis gitu ya. Kemudian si perempuan bilang, pasti dia menggunakan warna yang terang juga toh gitu maksudnya gitu ya. Nah, jadi kayak dia membandingkan antara lukisan yang modern itu yang mahal itu ya dengan gambar keponakannya gitu ya. Itu berarti mereka sama-sama nggak suka ya. Oke, mereka nggak paham nilainya gitu maksudnya. Oke, kemudian di sini mungkin aman ya. Nggak ada yang spesial. Oke, silakan di pause aja teman-teman ya untuk baca transkripnya. Kemudian nomor 20 juga aman, nggak ada yang spesial di situ, nggak ada yang susah saya lihat. Kemudian nggak ada ide maksud saya ya teman-teman ya. Kemudian ini, ini mungkin, oke, jadi ini maksudnya ya. Si perempuan kan bilang gini, ini ya, the music we were playing last night didn't disturb you, did it? Jadi musik yang kami mainkan kemarin malam tidak mengganggumu kan? Si laki-laki bilang secara sarkas ya, I was trying to get some work done. Saya lagi kerja tugas gitu. Itu berarti sebenarnya dia terganggu ya, seperti itu. Nah, kemudian kita lihat di sini, ini artinya I don't see, bukan berarti saya tidak melihat ya. Saya nggak paham gitu ya, why we should bother gitu. Saya nggak paham kenapa harus repot-repot ya. Itu artinya bother, artinya repot-repot teman-teman ya. Don't bother, jangan nggak usah repot-repot ya gitu ya gitu. Oke, a waste of time artinya buang waktu aja ya. Ini ada idiom ini, made up their minds artinya telah memutuskan ya. I haven't made up my mind, saya belum memutuskan, itu maksudnya ya. Ini come a long way artinya itu betul-betul sudah banyak progresnya ya gitu ya. Jadi kan dia bilang, si perempuan mengatakan, Jessie ini ya sekarang ya lagi bagus ya di kimianya sekarang ya. Kalau kita terjemahkan, Jessie's doing well in chemistry now, isn't she? Jessie ini ya bagus ya kimianya, iya kan? Gitu ya. Ini kan artinya iya kan gitu ya. Nah, si laki-laki bilang, iya betul, dia telah ini banyak progres gitu ya. She's really come a long way. Berarti banyak kemajuannya teman-teman ya. Jadi progres artinya kemajuan. Kemudian, ini don't be discouraged, jangan putus asa ya. I practically grew up on skis katanya. Saya memang besar dengan ski ya. Berarti maksudnya dari dulu memang dia sudah main ski ya. Berarti memang dia jago gitu ya. Dia jago main ski gitu ya. Oke, kita lanjut. Silakan teman-teman pause ya. Oke, lanjut ke 25, ke 26. Oke. Nah, di sini kita lihat, di sini nggak ada mungkin yang ini aman ya. Di sini juga tidak ada yang idiom saya lihat. Ini ada ini. I can't help but wonder gitu. Saya penasaran katanya. Saya penasaran gitu. Saya penasaran how is he is ever going to manage it. Manage itu bisa juga artinya saksi teman-teman ya. Bagaimana dia bisa sukses gitu ya, atau bagaimana dia bisa mengatur bisnisnya gitu ya. Makanya dia ragu. Jadi doubtful itu artinya help but wonder. Saya penasaran gitu ya, can't help but wonder. Saya penasaran. Maksudnya dia ragu kalau rencananya Jack itu akan sukses seperti itu. Oke, lanjut ke 27 ke 28. Di sini ini ada mungkin yang nggak biasa dipakai mungkin ya. Could I come over and watch it? Bisa ikut saya datang nggak gitu, misalnya bisa saya datang nggak ke tempatmu gitu ya untuk menontonnya gitu. Dia katakan a bunch of us, artinya beberapa dari kami, sama kalau kita katakan a group of us gitu ya, sama artinya beberapa dari kami gitu. Oke, lanjut ke 28. Nah, ada beberapa kosakata di sini. Ini classified dengan coming ya. Nah, coming ini kalau kita terjemah dari asal katanya com ya teman-teman ya, sisir gitu ya. Nah, ini artinya menyisir dalam artian mencari ya. Nah, biasa mungkin di berita kita dengar polisi menyisir misalkan ada anjing yang hilang gitu. Berarti menyisir anjing yang hilang atau anak yang hilang misalkan ya. Nauzubillah teman-teman ya. Jadi artinya mencari. Classified itu artinya ini ya, saya perlihatkan supaya teman-teman bisa ingat ya, nggak lupa lagi tentang classified ya. Classified itu ya, ini saya perlihatkan. Jadi classified itu ini ya, iklan baris kalau kita terjemahkan ke bahasa Indonesia gitu ya, iklan baris. Jadi katanya dia lagi mencari iklan baris di apartemen, dia lagi mencari ini ya, lagi cari apartemen katanya. Bulletin board ini majalah dinding bang ya, teman-teman ya gitu ya, majalah dinding gitu. Oke, kemudian 29. Pour artinya hujan deras teman-temannya. Pour artinya kalau kita terjemahkan secara literate itu artinya tumpah ya. Maksudnya di sini look at it pour, kita lihat hujan gitu katanya. Kemudian aman aja yang lainnya kayaknya. Itu yang penting ya, pour ini idiom. Kadang juga pour with rain gitu. Kadang mereka tambahkan dengan hujan gitu, with rain. Kadang juga mereka nggak pakai bahasa itu with rain ya. Ini ya ada materi tersendiri ya. Jadi si laki-laki tadi bilang the phone will be installed tomorrow. Si perempuan bilang, oh so you did order it. Ini ada penekanan. Oh jadi kamu betul-betul memesannya. Berarti asumsi sebelumnya dia pikir si laki-laki belum memesan itu ya, belum memesan teleponnya gitu. Berarti teleponnya sudah dipesan. Nah sama kalau misalkan gini. Saya ini loh, alhamdulillah misalkan skor TOEFL saya 600 gitu. Oh jadi kamu sudah tes TOEFL. Nah, itu berarti temannya yang tadi merespon itu belum pikir dia belum tes TOEFL gitu ya. Oh jadi kamu betul-betul sudah tes TOEFL. Oh jadi kamu sudah tes TOEFL. Jadi kita bisa lihat dari intonasinya teman-teman ya. Oke, sekarang kita masuk ke part B ya. Ini mungkin saya perkecil sedikit ya supaya teman-teman bisa lihat transkripnya. Semoga bisa kelihatan ya. Ini kalau kecil, oke, ini saya perlihatkan ya, ini semua full transkripnya ya. Oke, ini transkripnya. Ups. Oke, ini transkripnya. Kemudian ini ya. Kemudian ini di bawah, ini jawabannya teman-teman ya. Silakan di post aja teman-teman ya. Ini di post, ini kunci jawabannya. Oke, kalau misalkan nanti ada yang pertanyaan nggak dipaham, bilang aja ya. Silakan komen, nanti saya bahas gitu ya. Saya balas gitu ya. Kalau saya bahas satu persatu ini akan sangat detail gitu, dan nanti video kita akan terlalu panjang teman-teman ya. Oke, silakan dicek ini transkripnya. Saya perbesar dikit. Nah, itu ya transkripnya. Oke, di post. Silakan dibaca dulu. Kalau mau dicek, saya lanjutkan ke bawah. Oke, ini silakan dilihat di post. Oke, saya lanjut. Nah, ini tadi soalnya ya, dan jawabannya. Oke, silakan di post ya. Lanjut ke part C. Oke, ini transkripnya. Nah, saya perkecil mungkin ya, supaya kelihatan. Oke, itu ya transkripnya. Silakan di post. Saya lanjut ke jawabannya ini ya, ini soalnya dan kunci jawabannya. Lanjut lagi transkrip berikutnya, ini ya transkripnya. Oke, kemudian ini masih lanjutan transkripnya dan jawabannya gitu ya, soal dan jawaban. Oke, silakan di post. Saya lanjut lagi yang terakhir ini ya, ini transkripnya. Oke. Kemudian ini jawabannya, silahkan dicek tadi kunci jawabannya teman-teman ya, seperti itu. Oke, itu aja ya semuanya. Thank you semuanya. Jangan lupa ya, sampaikan berapa skornya, komen di bawah berapa skornya teman-teman, atau mungkin nanti ke depan kalau sudah latihan kemudian dapatnya skor tinggi, silahkan share juga ya skornya. Thank you very much. Thank you semuanya. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.